Have you ever wondered why the person you want the most always seems to want you the least? Why you replay every detail while they barely remember the moment? Why your mind spirals while theirs stays perfectly still? What you don't know is that somewhere out there, a woman is experiencing that exact storm because of a man, and she has no idea why she can't pull herself out of it. She's checking her phone like she's chasing oxygen. She's trying to decode a look, a comment, a silence. She's fighting the magnetic pull of someone she can't explain, can't control, and can't forget. And that man, whoever he is, has already carved himself into her thoughts without lifting a finger. Every guy has dreamed of being that man, but most men have only felt the other side of it, the waiting, the wondering, the ache you hide behind confidence that doesn't always hold. Modern dating makes the imbalance feel personal, even though it happens to almost everyone. One person falls deeper. The other floats higher. One person spirals. The other stays untouched. But here's the truth: no one ever tells you the difference between being the one who obsesses and the one who's obsessed over isn't luck, looks, or status. It's psychology. There's a switch inside her mind that only a few men know how to flip intentionally or accidentally. And once it flips, everything shifts. She leans in. She chases. She thinks a lot. This is where the real lesson begins. Most men think a woman becomes interested because they impressed her, entertained her, or said the right thing. But the truth is far stranger and far more powerful. A woman doesn't get attached because of what you show her. She gets attached because of what you trigger inside her mind, often without even trying. Think of her mind like a skyline. Most men never make it past the outskirts. They show up, wave hello, maybe build a small memory, and disappear just as fast. She forgets them the way you forget a billboard you passed on the highway, visible for a second, irrelevant the next. Their presence leaves no emotional shadow, no mark, no structure. But some men, very few, end up becoming the mental equivalent of a skyscraper. They rise tall in her awareness. They occupy her field of thought even when she's busy. They create a presence that lingers the way city lights stay glowing even when no one's looking at them. She navigates around them without realizing she's doing it. The difference isn't beauty. It isn't money. It isn't charisma. It's significance, psychological significance. And significance isn't something you claim. It's something she feels. It happens the moment her mind can't neatly categorize you, the moment she can't predict you, the moment she senses depth she hasn't accessed yet. Her brain hates empty space, so it starts filling the gaps with curiosity, imagination, and questions she can't ignore. That mental unfinished business becomes the seed of obsession. While other men hand her the entire blueprint of who they are within days, you come the unresolved chapter, the part of the story she hasn't finished reading, the unanswered question she keeps returning to. And the more she tries to understand you, the more mentally invested she becomes without you lifting a finger. This is the first shift in the dynamic. The moment you stop being another face in her world and become a presence her mind refuses to let go of. What locks a woman onto a man isn't clarity. It's the opposite. It's the unfinished edge of him, the part she can almost grasp, but not fully claim. Human psychology has a weakness, and most people never realize how strong it is. The mind hates open loops. It hates incomplete stories. It hates not knowing. The moment her brain senses something unresolved, it starts working overtime, trying to close the gap. And the more it tries, the deeper she falls into it. Most men destroy their own mystery without even realizing it. They present their entire identity within days. They explain themselves to death. They answer every question, clarify every intention, reveal every thought the moment she asks. And once she has the full picture, the story ends quietly, predictably, permanently. But the men who naturally pull women in without tricks, without games, without forcing anything, are the ones who leave space. They don't rush to fill every silence. They don't hand her a completed puzzle. They don't reveal their depth all at once. Instead, they create fragments, pieces of who they are that hint at something bigger, richer, and more layered. A small comment that feels like it means more than it seems. A look she can't decode. An unexpected thought that doesn't match the typical guy behavior she's used to. A subtle contradiction that makes her pause and think. Wait, what's that about? This isn't manipulation. This is psychological gravity. Because when a woman senses that there's more to you than what's on the surface, her imagination begins doing the heavy lifting. And the stories she creates in her mind are always stronger and more irresistible than anything you could say outright. She fills in the blanks. She writes the missing pages. She starts wondering about you at moments when she didn't plan to think of you at all. You become the mental itch she can't quite scratch. And this is where the dynamic shifts even deeper. She becomes emotionally occupied without realizing how it happened. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel strategic. It feels natural, like she stumbled into something she doesn't fully understand yet, but desperately wants to. Most men crave attention, but the men who command it are the ones who create intrigue. Because mystery isn't about being distant. It's about being dimensional. It's about letting her see just enough to keep her invested, but not enough for her to ever feel like she's reached the end of you. And once she feels there's more depth than she's discovered, her mind won't rest until she uncovers it. If curiosity pulls her toward you, scarcity is what makes her value you. Every woman has a silent internal system that measures the worth of the people around her. It's not logical. It's not conscious. It's instinctive. And this system works exactly like a market. The more abundant something is, the less valuable it becomes. When something is everywhere, it feels replaceable. When something is rare, it becomes precious. Most men collapse in this part of the game. They flood her world with themselves. They answer instantly. They overtext, overshare, overgive. They try to prove their worth through constant presence, not realizing that every moment of availability slowly erodes the very magnetism they're trying to build. They think consistency equals interest, but to her mind, consistency without boundaries equals oversupply. And oversupply kills desire, scarcity. Though that changes everything. Scarcity triggers attention. Scarcity creates pull. Scarcity ignites emotional investment. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because your time, your energy, your attention are naturally limited, and her mind picks up on that instantly. When you stop making yourself the easiest option, you become the option she actually values. Scarcity doesn't mean disappearing. It doesn't mean ignoring her. It doesn't mean acting cold or uninterested. Scarcity simply means you're a man whose life is full. A man with purpose. A man with direction. A man who doesn't orbit around anyone, including her. When she senses you have a mission beyond her, she adjusts. Suddenly, your time means more, because you don't throw it away. Your attention means more, because it isn't free. Your presence means more, because it's earned, not handed out. And here's the psychological twist most men never see. A woman doesn't fall for the man she sees the most. She falls for the man she feels she could lose, not because she's insecure, but because the human mind values what isn't guaranteed. There's a moment, subtle but powerful, when she realizes she doesn't have unlimited access to you. Maybe you didn't reply as fast. Maybe you were busy doing something meaningful. Maybe you didn't rearrange your entire world just to fit into hers. That moment doesn't push her away. It pulls her closer, because scarcity forces her mind to pay attention. Curiosity makes her wonder about you. Scarcity makes her hold on to you. One hooks her interest, the other amplifies it into desire. When you combine both, the dynamic starts shifting in your favor, and she starts investing in the connection not because you asked for it, but because her mind can't risk losing what feels rare. Every woman carries a private landscape inside her quiet tensions, unspoken longings, emotions she doesn't show, and desires she rarely admits even to herself. She may appear confident, collected, in control, but beneath that surface, there are always empty spaces. Not weaknesses, not flaws, just human gaps, the kinds of emotional hungers that shape what she notices, who she is drawn to, and why certain men leave a deeper mark on her than others ever could. Most men miss these gaps entirely. They push effort instead of awareness. They try to impress her when what she really responds to is someone who understands her. They rush to display their best qualities while never seeing the parts of her that quietly dictate everything she feels. And because they never recognize what's going on beneath the surface, they end up becoming just another pleasant moment, forgettable, replaceable, and ultimately unimportant. But attraction, real attraction, forms when a man steps into the space she least expects and fills something she didn't know she was starving for. A woman doesn't attach to the man who tries the hardest. She attaches to the man who satisfies the emotional hunger that's been sitting inside her for years. For some women, that hunger is the need to be seen, not superficially, but deeply. She's been admired for her face, her body, her charm, but rarely for her mind, her contradictions, her strength, and the parts of her she hides from the world. When a man looks past what everyone else sees and recognizes the complexity she's had to compress just to survive. He stands out, not because he compliments her, but because he understands her, and understanding is a language she's been waiting to hear. For others, the hunger is excitement, not chaos or drama, but something that cuts through the repetition of her daily life. She lives inside patterns that feel predictable and suffocating. She knows exactly what tomorrow looks like, and the day after that, and the day after that. When she encounters a man who disrupts that monotony, a man with an unexpected comment, a fresh perspective, a spark she can't categorize, her mind lights up. He becomes the contrast she didn't realize she needed. The feeling she chases isn't him, it's the aliveness she feels around him. But eventually, the two merge. Some women crave escape. They're exhausted not because they're fragile, but because they've been strong for too long. They carry obligations, pressure, and the silent expectation to always be on. And somewhere inside them is a longing to breathe, to drop the armor for a moment, and exist without performance. When a man's presence feels like relief instead of responsibility, comfort instead of tension, grounding instead of chaos, she attaches naturally. He becomes the emotional exhale she never thought she'd find. And then there are women who hunger for challenge. Women who have been desired so easily and so often that charm has lost all meaning. Men chase them by default, fall for them without effort, and make themselves predictable before the first conversation even ends. These women become numb to admiration. What they crave is someone who doesn't collapse under their beauty, someone with standards, someone who makes them show up. The moment she senses she actually has to earn your attention, something inside her awakens curiosity, interest, pursuit. Every emotional gap is different, but the pattern is the same. A woman bonds most intensely with the man who fills the space she feels most deeply. The secret is not to perform, impress, or pretend. The secret is to understand what she's been missing and become the presence that quietly completes the part of her world she didn't know was incomplete. When a woman starts feeling something for you, whether it's curiosity, attraction, or the quiet beginning of emotional hunger, most men make the same fatal mistake. They lean in harder. They double down on attention. They respond faster. They try to secure what they feel is slipping toward them. But desire doesn't grow under pressure. It grows under space. It grows in the moments between the moments. It grows when her mind has room to wander, question, wonder, and imagine. That's why the men who naturally inspire pursuit aren't the ones who show up the most. They're the ones who don't show up all at once. They understand the art of stepping forward just enough to spark something, then stepping back just enough to let that spark turn into heat inside her mind. This is not detachment. It's timing. It's awareness. It's knowing when she's entering a comfort zone and refusing to let her stay there. Because comfort, in the early stages, kills magnetism. Comfort makes her assume. Comfort makes her predictable. Comfort makes her stop reaching. Strategic withdrawal is the exact opposite of playing hard to get. Playing hard to get is artificial. It's forced distance. It's a performance. Strategic withdrawal is simply choosing not to give more than the moment deserves. It is letting her feel your presence, then notice your absence. It is giving enough warmth to create safety, but enough space to create tension. And the human mind responds to tension far more intensely than it responds to reassurance. When she senses she doesn't have unlimited access to you, something shifts. She begins to check her notifications more often. She thinks about what you might be doing. She revisits previous conversations, trying to decode subtle things she overlooked. She tries to figure out why the rhythm changed, and that curiosity becomes emotional investment. And curiosity is addictive. Once her mind opens that door, it doesn't close easily, but curiosity alone isn't enough. What sustains it, what deepens it, are the unpredictable moments. When your attention returns. Not in a rigid pattern, not in a predictable schedule, but in brief, meaningful bursts that hit harder precisely because she didn't expect them. The message you send after a quiet day, the call she didn't see coming, the compliment that feels sincere because you don't hand them out like candy. This is the psychology behind intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes people addicted to games, to risks, to anything where the reward is not guaranteed, but always impactful. Too much consistency dulls her senses. Too much absence makes her drift away. But the balance of absence and impact creates emotional gravity. It creates the feeling that being close to you matters. And that's when the pursuit begins. Not because you asked for it, but because her mind now participates in the connection. She wonders when she'll hear from you again. She starts initiating. She starts giving more. She starts trying, without realizing she crossed the line from observing you to chasing you. The pursuit reversal doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens quietly, gradually, through the rhythm of presence and space, attention and silence, warmth and mystery. It happens when she begins valuing your attention because she understands it's not automatic, it's deliberate. And the moment she realizes she has to earn a place in your world, that's the moment you stop being an option and become the prize. As her interest grows, something subtle but powerful begins to take shape. She starts seeing how the world responds to you. It's not about showing off or proving anything. It's the natural pull you carry when you move with purpose. People listen when you speak. They respect your energy. They gravitate toward your presence without you asking for it. She notices all of it, even if she pretends she doesn't. And that awareness shifts something inside her. Choosing you no longer feels like a gamble. It feels like choosing someone the world already recognizes as valuable. But what truly anchors her isn't the attention you receive. It's the way she feels when she's near you. Most men offer steady comfort, or fleeting excitement, rarely both. You offer the contrast that makes her feel alive, moments of thrill wrapped in a sense of safety. Unpredictability balanced with grounded presence. She doesn't just enjoy being around you, she remembers it. The laughter, the tension, the spark, the calm they imprint on her. Soon, she finds herself associating her best emotions with you, whether she means to or not. And in that emotional imprinting, something even deeper happens. She realizes you're not orbiting her. You're not adjusting your life to fit into hers. You're moving forward, building, growing, becoming. Your value isn't borrowed from anyone's approval. It comes from the life you're creating. And that is what transforms everything. A man who doesn't need to be chosen becomes the man women choose, not because he pulls away, but because his direction is bigger than any single connection. This is where pursuit flips, not through tactics, but through truth. Not because you played a role, but because you stepped fully into yourself. And if you're ready to keep becoming that man, the one who inspires devotion instead of chasing attention, stay here, follow along, keep learning, and keep evolving. The game changes when you do.